Former NBA player for almost 2 decades. One of the great shooters. Eddie Johnson, Suns broadcaster, NBA Sixth Man of the Year. He's listening to us talk about this nonsense, and Eddie's like, can you just get to me? Can we stop this nonsense talk? So I was a believer that KD was going to work. He was going to work instantly. I think you guys should be favorites or co-favorites because I think he's a catch and shoot. I don't think he takes away from others. I think you can get him the ball late in the clock. I think you have a high-functioning team. Were you surprised last night, Eddie, how effortless it kind of looked?
No, not at all. Look, Kevin Durant is a hooper, man. He continually tells us this. He loves basketball, right? He doesn't like the other stuff around the game. He loves getting between the lines and playing, and he plays the right way. Like, he can fit into any offense. Why? Because he is effective off the ball. Just get it to him. I don't care if it's 4 seconds on the clock. He's going to get a good look because he's 7 foot tall. He sees over the defense. He's one of the purest shooters in the history of the game.
Yeah. And
he's going to give you numbers. And so I felt like he would fit into any offense regardless where he is. I'm just happy that he's here in Phoenix.
So I don't see a lot of ego with this team. Personality.
Not at all.
Okay, so you tell me, because I think sometimes Kevin can be put off by conflict and that kind of stuff. Not a bunch of egos in Phoenix?
Not at all. I think it was a good bridge when Ricky Rubio came first as a point guard to help Devin understand that he's not going to win if he's taking all the shots, if he's just searching to score 70 points. And I think Ricky Rubio was a great transition to Chris Paul. And when Chris Paul came in, I think Devin understood it right away. He didn't have to really just go aggressively because we know Chris Paul is very aggressive. And I just think they just mixed. And Devin wants to win. I mean, Kobe Bryant obviously was a great mentor and role model for him. And, he had a lot of conversations with him. And Devin knows he can score, but Devin wants to win. And I think he's going to do everything that he can to help KD get acclimated to this team. Now, Colin, you saw last night, Devin took a ton of shots. He had 37.
Yeah.
And what I tell people is KD is going to make the game so much more easier for Devin because now he's not getting double teamed. He's going to get that pristine one-on-one coverage, and that's going to take a lot of pressure off the both of these guys. So I expect Devin to be honed in, just looking for an opportunity to get a championship. He's not worried about anything else.
Chris and Kevin are older. They can be brittle. It will work this year. Maybe next year, and then Phoenix could be in trouble. Is that a fair criticism?
No, that's a fair criticism. I mean, look, and most players know this. When they get north of 30, you're either going to be at the top or you're going to start to slide down. The great thing about Kevin Durant and Devin Booker is they stay in the gym. Like, they're prepared. Like, they're not going to give in to father time right away. And I think that's the beautiful part of these two individuals, and that you can see it in regards to how quickly Kevin Durant comes back and how effective he is when he does get back from injury. Like, he didn't miss a beat last night, and he's been out over a month. So I think that's the one sign that you look for guys, Colin, to see when they do come back, are they effective right away? And last night we saw Kevin Durant looking like Kevin Durant as he has all year long.
Yeah, he is. There are very few guys like him that you can give him the ball early in the shot clock. Mm-hmm. He can score, and you don't have to design stuff. If the play breaks down, you got 4 seconds on the clock, you give it to Kevin, he gets a great shot. But it is interesting because a lot of our best players are ball-centric. I had reservations about Westbrook to the Clippers or Kyrie to Luka. I always said this about James Harden. Generally in basketball, some stars score and they take shots away from other players. Yeah. Luka's a fascinating player. My buddy J-Mac here loves him. And I'm like, listen, there's a little James Harden here. He's not a great defender. And now we're seeing how good Jalen Brunson is when he leaves him. How do you look? Did you play with guys in your era that had a little bit of a Harden Luka feel where they're great, they're Hall of Famers, they'll be all-timers, but they're kind of hard to play with?
Yeah, I would throw Kristaps Porzingis in there too. I think he's looked pretty good in Washington on the floor.
Right.
I think the tough part is with Luka and with James Harden when he was in Houston. I love the James Harden that we're seeing today, is that he's giving his teammates, Harden is, an opportunity to maybe, if they do get the ball from him, they got more than 3 seconds to decide what they're going to do. And I think with Luka, you don't get that in Dallas. And now with he and Kyrie, you got two guys that's pretty similar. And now those other guys aren't going to get great looks. Case in point, Tim Hardaway the other day, who should be their third scorer, he only took 6 shots and he made 4 of them in 37 minutes.
Wow.
So, between those two guys, they got to learn to understand and trust other guys longer than the 2 or 3 seconds and thinking they have to set them up. And I think that's where Dallas is going to run into it. And Kyrie's going to get the blame, obviously. That's going to follow him. But I honestly believe that he is trying. I mean, he is trying to do it the right way. It's going to be difficult with Luka, though.
So I didn't love last night. AD didn't play, and he was 100% pain-free. And baseball's got their analytic people, and they're telling managers what to do. And managers are always saying, "Listen, there's momentum, and analytics don't tell you about momentum." And I thought last night was a great example. AD's had a reputation as soft, and so pain-free, LeBron out on the road, huge game, and he sits. And I'm like, you got to go to that medical department and say, "Fellas, I'm playing. I know what I make. I know what you make. I'm playing." I didn't like it at all. Where do you fall on this whole health science momentum in the league that just takes stars out regularly?
I never missed a game that I was not injured. Okay. I was hurt a lot. It's just funny to me that players today tend to think that they need to get close to 100% to play. And I'm quick to remind players, the moment that you put an NBA uniform on, you'll never be 100%. Never. Like, you will never, this marathon of 82 games, traveling, practicing, you don't have a chance to be 100%. You try to build back to 100%. It's like filling up your gas tank. Yeah, okay, you get down low, fill it up. Guess what? You still going to start to run out of gas. Okay, and so I think they don't understand that. And I think it gets them in trouble. And they're listening to people that think from a science technology part that it's going to be better for them. But I think mentally it hurts them because then they tend to not play when they're nicked up. And I think that's the biggest problem with these players today. They don't practice a ton and they step back when they're nicked up. I actually agree with the Lakers, Colin, last night and sitting Anthony Davis because of this reason. They didn't know how long LeBron possibly could be out. And if they lose Anthony Davis, right, if he aggravates it to a level where he can't play for 2 weeks, then they're definitely out of the playoffs. With Shai Gilgeous not playing last night, they rolled the dice, but they rolled the dice well.
Championship teams don't worry about seeding much. Warriors have proven they can go into Boston and win a game in the finals. They don't worry about that stuff. It's about getting the guys healthy. And I look at them now, and I think they've figured their bench out. So Poole's going to give them scoring off the bench. Kuminga gives them athletic ability. JaMychal Green gives him a little size. DiVincenzo gives him leadership, toughness, can hit a jumper. I kind of feel like Clay's having a year, Eddie. I kind of feel like they found it. It took them a while, but it looks like they figured the bench out. You buy that or not?
I don't think they ever lost it. I just think that Father Time, as you noted with other guys, is catching up to them. The marathon last year, I thought, took a lot out of them. Because I don't even know if they thought midseason that they could win a title. And all of a sudden they fell into it and they won one. And like Curry right now, it maybe was good for him to have the injury, so to speak, because it gave him a chance to rest and he'll come back and he'll be just as good. He's one of those guys too, that when he gets back on the court, he's going to be productive. I just think that they're going to be there and they're going to be a problem. But for me, I just think that marathon, man, that marathon year after year after year, and I've heard Draymond talk about it, it just gets laborious. And I just want to see if they're able to overcome that. I just don't know. But I'm not going to go against them because Greg Popovich shut me up after thinking San Antonio would fall away for years and years, and they were right there in your face. And I'm not going to do that with Golden State either.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.